episode where I was talking about there being no mention of God or Jesus Christ in the founding documents of this country. It's an important point because Micah Beckwith is running for lieutenant governor for the Republican Party. He's a person that's not going to just let the government be. He said he wants to be a check and balance against the governor if the governor becomes too left-wing or socialist. He's crazy to say that because checks and balances don't work that way. Beckwith, you might want to read about political science or history of government, or maybe read about the Constitution. Checks and balances are between branches of government. A lieutenant governor is subordinate to a governor in Indiana. In fact, there's really not that much that can be said about the governor and the lieutenant governor, except if the lieutenant governor was to try to shut down the government. Beckwith did a good job of shutting down Hamilton East Public Libraries when he was on the board of trustees there for about 2 years, I guess. They spirited him on in the middle of the night, and he wanted to stop porn and stop smut. He didn't want to stop a damn thing. He's playing with his little cell phone there the whole time during meetings, and I don't think he ever even had a library card, and that's kind of important. That's beside the point. Because here we're talking about our government. God does not make an appearance in the Constitution, nor does Jesus Christ. And I was talking about the North Carolina Constitutional Convention, the ratification convention. Each state was to ratify. North Carolina was the only state to have 2 conventions because they refused to ratify it the first time around because delegates who opposed it didn't see enough God in it. Now, if, as Beckwith says, the Constitution creates a Christian country or government. And I like how he tosses a quote from God talking to him, like, "I created this Judeo-Christian structure." It doesn't, but if God had done that, or if people created the government to be a theocracy, what would have been natural right here is for those who opposed the Constitution to say, look, you're wrong. God is in the Constitution. They didn't. The delegate in North Carolina who spoke on behalf of the Constitution in favor of ratifying it was James Iredell. Iredell was the son of a clergyman, the grandson of a clergyman, very devout. He's also very devout about the law and the Constitution. And he spoke after a delegate named Abbott said that we could have Mohammedans in government, and Congress could be taken over by pagans. And what do we want? Do we want Presbyterians or Episcopalians? And Iredell said, but it is objected that the people of America may perhaps choose representatives who have no religion at all, and that pagans and Mohammedans, those of Islam, may be admitted into offices. But how is it possible to exclude any set of men without taking away that principle of religious freedom which we ourselves so warmly contend for? This is the foundation on which persecution is being raised in every part of the world. The people in power were always right and everybody else wrong. When you hear a jackass like Beckwith talking about how demons are taking over the government and the Jezebel spirit is infused in the Democratic Party, well, you can see somebody's going to say that everybody else is wrong and he, though he is a dolt, is right. There's prejudice carried by him, this view. And it's easy to get angry when you also have somebody in Beckwith who wants to have a lot of 2A remedies, and he has weapons training in his church. That's absurd. What was said at the North Carolina Convention was not this is a Christian country, not this is an anti-Christian country, but this is a country where everyone has a right to their belief. And if Congress was to be taken over by pagans, that was in 1787 they were saying this. It's the people's will. Because how else could we say that there's freedom of religion without doing exactly that, opening ourselves up to the concept that people could form a majority from a belief different. I'm Mark Small. Civil Discourse Now.